Hey y'all. Hello, my divine ladies. Welcome. So, I love this topic. This topic was actually inspired by talking to one of my girls who has a daughter. And, she was just like, she was stressing a little bit, just a little bit about, homeschooling her daughter and blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And and then she busted out with this line, right? Because I was like, yeah, girl, I don't even think that's something you need to worry about. Just go with the flow, blah, blah, blah. That's nothing you need to stress, especially with little girls, it's just whatever. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I didn't even think of that. The only education girls need is hypergamy. And I'm like, girl, yes. Hey, Maricel. So I was like, this is a perfect title because this is something that resonates with me. And so I was like, yo, this is perfect. And for those who don't know what hypergamy is, and I'm shockingly there is a lot of women who don't know what hypergamy is basically, you know, the opportunity for a woman to marry up in class. I guess that's what they would say. So she's marrying up higher, um basically somebody who is more financially stable, right? So yeah, hey baby queen, right girl, I know. And it was just like I said, yo, I have to talk about this because this is factual, right? This is factual. There's so many women who are fighting for equal rights and wanting to work and all of this foolishness. I'm just like, why would you want to fight to work and do the same things men do? And I'm just thinking like that to me is not freedom, that's oppression. Okay, that's oppression. Feeling the need to work the same level as a man, yeah, no thank you, I don't think so. I mean, if girls were just taught, imagine if girls were taught how to have standards, how to have self respect, how to treat themselves like the prize. Imagine if girls were taught that. What kind of woman do you think they will turn out to be? Right? You wouldn't see women out here begging, chasing, running after a man, feeling the need to be a man. You wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see that at all, right? But them teaching women the need to be men is backfiring on women every single day. If women were taught how to embrace her femininity, how to, carry herself like a lady, dress modest, you know, it's I'm telling you, the biggest experience, most of my life experiences, I didn't learn from school. I learned that from actually experiencing it. Any major thing that somebody, you know, have gone through, they didn't learn that from school. They learned it from actually doing something with themselves. This is like, he said, yeah, this is the teaching that most women don't get, which is why our society is the way it is now. Because they, like I said in my last video, women are brainwashed to thinking like, yeah, she gets an education, boom, she gets a career. And then what happens? She gets stuck trying to pay off the debt that she got from being in school and ends up spinning bills with a man who takes advantage of her. To me, I don't even think a career is even necessary if you are planning on being with a man. Like if you aren't planning on being with a man and you want to be your own man and you just that's it, then okay, then this video is not going to apply. There's some women who who do want to be their own men. They want to make their own money. They want to do all of that, right? That's their business. If that's what they want to do, then by all means, that's what they're going to want to do. But for women who actually want to rest in their feminine energy, the only thing that they see themselves is how quickly can I be with a provider man, a man that could provide for me, make my life easier. That's the best thing you want to do as early as possible. Instead of trying to find, fall in love, fall into a trap, because the best love of all is the one you have for yourself and the one you give to a child. And that's when the child's under the age of 5. After the age of 5, they gotta have to start learning things to do their own experience, right? Have their own experience. But trying to force a woman to be career oriented is backfiring on women every single day. I see it. Women who are miserable at their jobs, women who don't want to be there, who are, you see it, y'all. If you go somewhere and there's a woman working, she does not want to do it. She feels like she has to do it in order to earn money, instead of just thinking like, hey, wouldn't it just be easier if I dated a man who's already financially stable, who already has the mindset of a provider, who wants to make my life easier? I mean, I'm pretty sure women wouldn't work if they had the opportunity to get paid to be at home. You know, like, that's just what it is. Because I tell you one thing, masculine men, they don't care about careers from women. They don't care about her feeling the need to lead with her degrees. They don't care about that. Masculine men don't care about that. Only a feminine man is going to care about a woman's degrees, what education she had, so he can find ways. Can I extract resources from her? If I don't want to work anymore, will she carry the weight? That's the reason why. Because a woman who's in her feminine energy, she's no use to a man in his feminine energy. But to a masculine man desire feminine women. That's just what it is. That's what it is. Women who believe in themselves, women who understand their worth, will attract the type of man that will provide for her. Women who have a negative or self-limiting belief, this is not going to apply to them. Anything I'm saying it's just gonna go from one ear to another. They're gonna try to argue to justify why there's not enough men to be, not enough wealthy men. And that's a very negative mindset. So you can't help women who have that type of mindset, because I'm telling you right now, every single day as we speak, there is a man who just hit his first $1 million. There's a man who just got his own business off the ground. There is a man who just hit billion. There is a man who there's men out here making money every single day, every hour, every minute, every second. There is a man out here doing that. This is exactly how I look at life. I never look at life in a limiting way where it's like, oh, well, there's not enough for all of us. And, that just sounds pathetic, and it's just, like I said, it's a negative mindset. It's a very low vibration for a woman to be in. So you can't justify your reasonings to somebody who doesn't believe the same thing you believe in. And that's okay. You know what? That's okay. We're not here to save everybody. We're only here to inspire those who want to be inspired. Like I said, some women want to be their own men. Some women, want to work and have their own business and do all of those things. Because they plan on being single, or they plan on just being by themselves. And that's okay. If that's what they want, that's what their desire is, by all means, let them experience their own life. But really and truly, what is education teaching a woman that, being with a wealthy man can't teach her? Because like I said, most experiences that a woman has in life, she has not learned that from school. Even when they say, being street smart versus being book smart, sometimes, it's all about survival. It's like, a good example would be, say there's two doctors, right? One went to school to learn how to deliver a baby. The other one didn't go to school, but he delivered about 300 babies, healthy. Which one would you go to? Would you go to the one who's like, oh, well, he went to school, he probably delivered about 3, but hey, he's book smart, or the one who actually experienced delivering a child over 300 times. You're going to feel more comfortable with experience versus somebody who just read about it. Okay? That's just what it is. So I always look at things like your experience is what teaches you the most. And from the experience that I've came across with women who got caught up in the school system, who got caught up, having careers, who are probably regretting it now because they're not with a provider man. They feel like they're stressed having to clock in, and then on top of that, they'll complain about the job that they're doing. But it's like, ma'am, you chose that. That's the life that you chose because you felt like that's the only, life for you. And it's sad when I hear girls, young, especially young girls, who are not even 18, working like, all these hours a week. And I'm just like, and I remember, my daughter was telling me about her friend, and she's like, yeah, she's like, she works like almost from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. And she's only 18. Imagine how she's going to look in 10 years. I said, well, you know what? You can't blame her because that is what she learned from her parents. That's what she learned from what her parents taught her. Just like my parents taught me, go to school, get education, and then you're going to be good. And it's like, well, but you guys aren't, right? And it's not to talk bad or anything like that, but it's like the life that my parents have, that's not the life I desire. So then, and if that's what got them to be in that life, then I'm going to do the opposite. Because I don't have no desire to work like a dog all the time just for me to be like, oh yeah, I got paid. It's like, what is that going to teach a girl? It's going to teach her how to be a boy. It's going to teach her how to be masculine. It's going to teach her to hate everyone around, especially men with money. Because that's what happens in the school system. They teach them like, you know what? Not everybody can be rich. So just be a slave. Just work for somebody else and you're going to be happy. They never teach you that. Of course they can't. And like I said, they look down on housewives. They look down on stay-at-home moms because they actually were smart enough to know, hey, I don't have to do the work. Why do I need to do the work? It's not about working harder. It's finding a way to do things smarter. And the smartest thing for me is hypergamy. Dating up. That's the smartest thing for me. Not just a man who has money, but a man who's a provider. Because there's a big difference. There's some men who may not be millionaires, but they still provide a life comfortable for their wife where she doesn't have to work. And then there's some men who will have millions of dollars, but they wouldn't even give you water if you were in the desert. It has nothing to do with how much the money has. It's does he have the ability to provide? That's the whole thing. Does he have the ability to provide? Exactly, Marisol. Being a millionaire does not mean they will provide. Thank you. But again, like, when you're talking to somebody who, anyways, let me just disregard because this is why y'all know. When you see somebody going up in the chat and they're just asking things, they're just like they're just reading to respond. They're not listening. They're not hearing. I'm telling you right now, don't waste your energy because it's just, that's why I said it is a waste because it's like you feel like you're explaining something to a wall. And it's like, there's just, you know what I mean? And again, it's not to be rude, but that's just what it is. I just feel like the most thing to focus on is what you desire. Again, this is only going to apply to women who actually see themselves living an easier life. They're not going to stress about education. They know, hey, all I got to do is marry up. He's going to make my life easier. And women are like, oh, well, I don't want to rely on a man. Okay, well then don't. Again, this message is not going to apply to everybody. It's going to apply to those who it needs to. If this is a message that calls to you, you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about this. Like, then boom, that's what it is. But of course, I can't expect my message for everybody, every woman out there to take it in and be like, yeah, this makes sense. Especially if she was not taught. If a woman was taught to be her own man, hearing about another man taking care of her, providing for her is foreign. It's like, what? What do you mean? Wow, am I a child? That's what some of them will say. I'm not a baby. I don't need him to do anything. I'm independent. They'll say all of those things, but emotionally, they're not independent because they still thrive off of wanting to have a man. And these are the same women who will be on social media or dating sites looking for men to thirst over, or for them to thirst over her, or whatever the case is. And then they'll turn around and be like, oh, all men are trash. All men are this. All men are that. And it's like, but that's how you see, that's their perspective. When I hear a woman say all men are trash, or all men are talking about men in a negative, manner, this is a woman who has not healed from something that she most likely put herself in. Okay? She most likely put herself in a situation, and now she's being the victim and blaming and using the blame system to blame somebody else for her misfortunes, instead of her taking the initiative, or actually the initiative, her taking the responsibility to see what she did, or where she went wrong. Anytime a woman comes from a negative or a victim mindset, these are the type of women you want to steer clear from, because they're always going to attract negative, low vibrational things to themselves. That's just what it is. If women learn how to have standards and to date with a purpose, not date a man just because, oh, he's cute, he's tall, he has blue eyes, or, he's muscular. He's like, if a woman actually dated with, wow, he got several businesses, he comes from a good family, he believes in providing for a woman, he makes money in his sleep. If women actually had that type of mentality, she wouldn't be in a negative, she wouldn't look or view things like this in a negative way. We just do what we feel works best. And I know being with a provider or dating a masculine man is so much easier. It's so much better, because it literally keeps that woman in a feminine state. She stays in a more feminine energy when she's with a masculine man. You're not arguing with men how to be a man. There's no competition. And this man is not giving you his money, he's giving it to somebody else. See, hypergamy is a gift to women. Naturally. It's a natural thing for a woman to be hypergamous, because let me tell you, even animals, female animals or female mammals are hypergamous too. If there's an alpha male that wants her attention, and then another alpha male that wants her attention, and then they fight, she's not going to go to the one that lost. She's going to reproduce with the strongest one, because that's the one that can protect her. That's the one that's going to make her life easier. She's going to be like, oh, shoot, you lost. I can't be with you. You lost the fight. Didn't matter if this one looked nice, but if he lost by another alpha male, it's only smart for that female mammal to naturally choose the one that beat the one that lost. It's just common sense. It's just common sense. He said most men will never know what it's like to have a real feminine woman in his life who's in her God-given role. They'll never experience how that benefits and blesses their life. mom and wife. Oh, he said, yeah, well, you know what? And those men will get the woman that they feel the need to get. And it doesn't matter. We don't even, who cares about those men? Who cares about the men who are not going to have a feminine woman? Who honestly, they're not even the target anyway. So who cares? Masculine men will be able to experience what it means to provide. Just reminded me of this video that I was listening to, because this is what the school system does. It forces women outside the home. Let me get that video. Hold on, y'all. I gotta play it. Let me play this video, because this video right here is exactly what they teach women to, get women outside of get out women in the workforce or whatever. Let me tell you, it's been backfired on women every single day. Let me get to that video. Where is it? Here it is. Okay.
So it may come as a surprise to you that today I am not going to talk about the Soviet military threat, but rather another threat. A threat to the traditional American family. A threat that is just as dangerous and even more insidious. The threat of the women's liberation movement. Well, let me be clear. I am not against women succeeding. I am not against women working outside the home. That's their choice. But what I am against is a small elitist group of Northeastern establishment liberals putting down homemakers. Now, the livers love to say that they're dedicated to choice. But if you dare to choose the path of full-time mother, well, there must be something wrong with you. I mean, if you don't feel enslaved, well, you're just dumb and unenlightened. In fact, you're not even a person. Because you see, the women's liberation movement is basically a very negative attitude toward life. It tells women, sister, the cards are stacked against you. When you wake up in the morning, you won't get a job. And if you do, it won't be a good one. And if you get a good one, you won't get promoted. And if you get married, your husband will treat you like a servant. And marriage is just a lot of dirty diapers and dirty dishes. But don't take my word for it. Read their own literature. Betty Friedan, mother of the movement, wrote in The Feminine Mystique that marriage is, and I quote, a comfortable concentration camp. But it is not enough that they're demeaning us in the press. Oh, no. Now they want to use our miraculous Constitution to create a sex-neutral society through this so-called Equal Rights Amendment, which will mean that that baby girl will be drafted. And the men will be at home nursing the babies. I mean, can you imagine if Buck was left in charge of your children? Oh, God help us. Yes, that's right. It's ridiculous, and it's downright un-American. Because women are the primary caregivers in the home because we bear the children. And if the liberationists have a problem with that, they're going to have to take it up with God. Because what is going to happen if you push women out into the workforce is that women are going to find themselves with 2 full-time jobs. And they're going to be exhausted and unhappy and feel like they're not doing either well until eventually they decide not to have children at all. Maybe that's the liberationist goal. I mean, after all, their hero is Gloria Steinem, a single, childless woman nearing 40. But she is the sort of miserable, pathetic woman they aspire to be. She wants some kind of constitutional cure for her personal problems. And perhaps that is why the liberationists are trying to sow these seeds of discontent among we happily married women. They want us to join them in some new sisterhood of frustrated togetherness. Because none of them can find a man who wants to marry them.
I mean, I'm just wondering, where's the lie? Where is the lie in what she said? That is the absolute truth. They force women thinking, the old education system to teach women, you know, for her to work outside, naturally, it's not just one job she's going to have. It's more than a second job, especially if she has children. It's multiple jobs. That is complete backwards. Complete backwards. You said I'm saying that because masculinity is taught from generation to generation. Your mom is masculine, you're masculine, you're marry a femme 50-50 guy, then your daughter is masculine, it's cycle. Yes. And I know exactly what you mean, baby queen. If a daughter's mother is masculine, that's all she's gonna teach. It's the same thing that she knows. That's why I, inspire my daughters. And I said this. The only one who needs to work hard is my son. My daughters, they don't need to know what hard work is. Why? Why does a woman need to know what hard work is? If somebody can have a proper explanation, maybe I would like to hear it. But really and truly, there is no explanation as to why a woman needs to be a hard worker. That doesn't even sound right. You know what the hardest work is? Pushing a baby out of 10 centimeters. Having your pelvis, stretch to the capacity to push out a human child. That is hard work. That's the only work that's hard enough for a woman to even have to endure, especially if she doesn't even take an epidural or any medication. That's a whole different ballgame. She feels everything. Everything. How do you compare that with anything else? There is nothing to compare that with. Exactly, Maricel. There is a lot easier way to go to get money. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and a woman knows when she's with somebody that isn't in their masculine energy because she feels exhausted. She feels tired. A woman knows. She knows. She knows. Women try to justify, you know, oh, I'm glad that I'm a childless woman, or I'm glad there was a comment. There was a comment. Somebody, let me see if I can find that. I was like, this is exactly, and I'm gonna put a whole post on this afterwards. I'm gonna post a whole post. Let's see if I can find it. Could have sworn that I took it. Oh, yes. So some woman wrote under that video that I just shared or played. She said, as a child-free ex-Christian with a wonderful husband who would happily be a house husband, he already cooks for me, he does the laundry for me, etc. I'm very happy with that Glory Steinman did for my freedom. My sister-in-law is a wonderful doctor and her husband works from home and takes excellent care of their 4 children. I am so happy we are past these gender roles that this woman wanted us to be trapped in. Society is better for it. And a person wrote, childless, middle-aged, single women are the most depressed group. They're the group with the highest rate of antidepressant use. The worst thing you can do to young women is to tell them that motherhood is a burden and that they should delay settling down and starting a family. Many wait until it's too late and regret it. The happiest people tend to be those who got married to a provider early and don't have to wait to start building their families. It's very fulfilling. There's something about marriage and family that forces people to get their act together. Far from the myth that it holds people back, it actually tends to help people put their time to good use and improve themselves. Life is easier being married, especially if the man is in his masculine energy. And the fundamental purpose of life is to have children. But if some people are happy with their dogs or cats and their wine or antidepressant medications to get them through the week, then more power to them. We all make choices and then we have to live with the results. I'm just saying, okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Because I don't know why women thinking like there's only two genders, okay? That's it. There's only two genders, male and female. That's it. All those every extra pronouns and cis this and all of that. No, 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 no. I'm a woman. Okay? I'm a woman. And then you see the liberals who are getting upset with when Matt Walsh came out with that documentary, What is a Woman? It's like, oh well, it's a choice. They had all these other things, but to say the ability for me to give birth, to have a child. You know, I have an egg. That's what a woman, I have an egg. And a man fertilizes it. That that's eternal life. Male and female creates life. That's just what it is. So, and I think there was something that was happening, I guess, I heard in Afghanistan that they banned women from going to school or whatever the case is, or having an education or something like that. And and I'm just like, to me, I personally don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's always up to a woman to choose the type of man she ends up with. It's a woman's choice. If she's with a man who abuses her financially, she chose that life. And she allowed other people to make her feel like, hey, it's okay to stay with him because you're married. I don't think we need to normalize marriages that are toxic. The first sign of abuse is the sign a woman needs to get out. The first sign of disrespect. That's why you don't marry a man based off of love and based off of these superficial conditions, because conditions can change. When a woman's in her feminine energy, she knows marrying for security is the only thing that matters. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that matters, is marrying for security. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing that matters. Anything else, it doesn't matter. How a woman feels about another woman wanting to marry up is none of her business. Because if she wants to work, that's on her. That's on her. If she wants to decide to work for someone, be a slave, and then complain about it, it's like, well, ma'am, you chose that life. I feel the best type of life to have is to be in a receiving mode, to be in your feminine energy. That's it. That's the only thing to have. That makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. You know, that's it. I just feel like sometimes women need to understand that being at home is just the best place to be. Being at home. And again, there's going to be women who want to push out, the whole victim mentality and this and that. Like, ladies, the best thing to focus on is your desire. At the end of the day, what your desires are. Because any desire a woman has, she can manifest it. She can attract it. Those who don't believe in it, then that's for them. That's on them. Don't try to convince anyone else to believe the way you believe. The best thing to do is to focus on what you can do to put yourself in a position where you could be provided for. Sometimes, a call of action will come to you. Something will tell you, hey, you know what? You should go to this place. Maybe you might run into somebody, maybe a sign, some sign will come to you. Some sign will come to you to be somewhere where you're just like, oh my God, this makes sense. And then you come across somebody who thinks exactly the way you do, where he believes, yeah, it's his job to make a woman's life easier. You don't even have to justify it. You don't have to even argue or anything. You don't have to say nothing to a man that already knows his role as a man. You don't have to say nothing. Everything, it's like a puzzle. Everything will fall into place. Because when a woman's her feminine energy, naturally she will attract a man in his masculine. When a woman is not in her feminine energy, she's going to attract the opposite. She's going to attract, men that are asking her about her career and what she does for a living, how she makes money, or this and this and this and that. It's not your job to justify yourself or to even be like, or even to be offended. It's not even, it's just, you just know that he's not the target. That's it. Simple. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Hypergamy teaches women our power. That's what hypergamy. The hypergamy teaches women our power, the ability for us to do this. Too many women are the breadwinners, and they have a man who's hypergamy off of them. And that's why they will get irritated by a woman who's like, hey, I actually don't mind being a homemaker. I don't mind being at home. I don't mind, you know, um, cooking a meal for my husband, whatever the case is, especially if he's providing. Why not? There's nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I personally, I like cooking for me because I like to know what's going into my food, especially if my goal is to eat healthier and not rely on somebody else. That's only in the meantime, just until, hey, if this guy wants to hire somebody to come cook, boom. But me personally, I like to know what's going into my food. I really do. I like to know what's going into my food. Um, I went from always, going out, going to eat sometimes, and it's such a risk because if you don't know how that person is cooking something, you kind of, and of course you don't want to think like that, but sometimes it's hard to not think of it, especially if like, you don't know if this person is using gloves or this person just, ugh, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it because a masculine man, he's not going to have the time to be in the kitchen cooking for you. That's for sure. He's just not. He's too busy making money. So to me, to be in a healthier state, yeah, I don't mind cooking my food. I really don't. You said in the West, you have a choice on who you marry. There's no excuses. Trauma, no money, abuse, etc. You have a choice. Exactly, baby queen. Baby queen, thank you. Like I said, women put themselves in that state and then they want to be like, oh, feel sorry for me. Look what happened to me. This is what happened to me. No, you put yourself there. You can't, put yourself, dig a hole and then stay in it and be like, I can't get out. You put yourself there. If you can find a way to dig that hole, then you must find a way to get out of it. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Like I don't have, the energy to be like, you know what I mean? Exactly, baby queen. If she's trying to prove something, then yes, that's masculine. But cooking is a creative therapy and a way to nurture a family to many feminine women. Please say that again, baby queen. Thank you. See, there's a difference when women who try to cook to prove like, hey, I'm wifey material. Look what I can do. You know, y'all ever seen Mad TV Stewart? Look at me. Look what I can do. Like, it's like, no, 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 no. I'm not saying you're going to, not every man deserves a cooked meal, especially if he's not providing for you, making your life easier. Like, what? Why would I cook for a man like that? If he's not making my life easier, you're not getting no cooked meal. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting no cooked food. That's just, no, that's not happening. But to me, I personally, I like cooking. I like cooking. But am I going to go out of my way to cook for a man who hasn't given me any money, who hasn't paid me to be there, who hasn't made my life easier? Am I going to go out of my way to cook for him? Absolutely not. That is not even a question. I'm not cooking for you, sir. What? Pay me. You want me to cook? Pay me. Pay me. That's it. You know those ones? Oh, I want to show him. I want to show him I can cook. I want to show I can cook. I can clean. I want to show him that he can pick me. He can pick me. Watch. Look what I can do. I can make you pot roast. I can make you crab legs. I can cook some collard greens. I can make I can make you some food. I can make you some food. Let me show you what I can do. I was like, no. I don't think so. I don't care what this man needs to do. Hey, can you cook? If your man asks me, can you cook? Do you know how to make money, sir? That's what I would ask. Do you know how to make money? Yeah, I know how to make money. Well, then I know how to cook. Simple like that. If you know how to make money, I know how to cook, okay? I'm not about to show this man I can cook. Just for what? For what? What is that going to do? Please. Woo! Oh my God. Whew. Y'all. Okay. Okay. Shoot. Talk about, can you cook? Sir, make some money. Do you know how to make some money? Do you know how to make some money, sir? Don't ask me if I know how to cook if you don't know how to make no money. The two's not going to go together. Okay? How are you going to ask someone to cook, but you're not even buying the food for her to cook? Or even paying her to cook. That's what I need to do. I need you to pay me to cook. Okay? Please. You say, yeah, I know those ones. They're in my family, cooking up all good family recipes, and he hasn't paid one bill. Yeah, not me. That's not going to be me ever. Ever, 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 ever. No, no, no. I definitely don't mind cooking if I'm being paid to. Okay? He's making my life easier. Why not? Because you can only order food so many times, and ordering all the outside food, all the excess sodium, all the excess oil, and don't even know how they cook it. You're just asking to be fat, to be overweight, to be obese. That's what a woman's asking for. Okay, that's what she's asking for. She's asking for to be obese. Always ordering food out. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. I'm lazy, but I'm not that lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I have enough energy to cook for myself. I don't cook for my children or anything like that. I cook for myself. They don't even live with me, so it doesn't even matter. But I cook for myself. Because to me, that's especially, I'm more focused on eating right and eating healthier. I need to know what's going into my food. Just the other day, I made a whole eggplant lasagna. Oh my God. When I tell you that was, woo, child, baby. When I say that I made a whole pot of lasagna. Let me tell you, it was like perfection. Perfection. It was perfection, 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 perfection. My God. Oh, it was so good. I never made a whole pot of lasagna for myself. I never did that. Mind you, I didn't eat it all in one setting, but it was fulfilling because I personally love looking at YouTube and seeing different recipes for me to execute. Like the other day, I made a no bake cheesecake. No bake. I was like, wow, wow. And it was all keto, like, sugar free and everything. And it tasted, oh my God. Ah, you know how they say like food is like orgasm? That's what it tasted like in my mouth, boy. I was like, whoa. I can't believe this tastes so good. Oh my God. Oh, that no bake cheesecake, babies. Let me tell y'all, it was the best. I never expected to make something so good. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was like, wow, did I make this? I was proud of myself. I said, baby, you go, girl. And I turned around and I smacked my booty for that. I said, yes, girl. Woo. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I was like, woo. Shoot. I'm telling you, I loved it. It was delicious. I love this is when I'm fasting, I love to watch baking shows. I love to watch things that is like, oh, I should try making that. I know how to bake, I know how to cook, I know how to do all of those things. Like that the type of food will to put you straight to heaven. Let me tell you. It's definitely it's yeah. I'm telling you. Exactly. Baby queen. Cooking is definitely a skill to learn for good health, domestic teaching, etiquette, language, dressing well, etc. are skills that benefit hypergamy. But women are taught to be like men instead. Exactly. I personally, I don't mind because I know one thing. I could cook. I can cook my I could cook, y'all. But again, am I going to cook for a man just for the sake of it? Especially if he's not making my life easier? Absolutely not. He's not getting none of my good cooking. No, 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 no. You have to pay, sir. You have to pay. You want to know if I could cook good? I need to see how good you are in making money. Then we can talk. But if a man to come out right off the bat and be like, do you know how to cook? Do you know how to cook? I said, what do you mean? Do I know how to cook? I said, if a man asks you that, lady, you need to tell him, Cindy, do you know how to make money? Do you know how to make money? That's what I need to know. Do you know how to make money? And he says, well, yeah, of course I know how to make money. Well, then, shoot, I know how to cook. We go hand in hand. He can't expect me to cook, to clean, to do everything. I'm like, no, 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 no. You either have a wife or you have a maid, but you're not going to have both. You're not going to have both. Okay. To me, it's a necessity to learn how to cook, especially when you have a husband, especially when you have children. It's something that it's, again, that comes with when that man is making my life easier. Am I going to cook all the time? Maybe, maybe not. It just depends on how I feel. Again, is he making my life easier? Because women are not going to want to cook for a man who's not providing for her. And some women, when they do that, they feel so unappreciated because that man will eat the food and it's like, whatever. It's a difference when you're cooking for a man who's making your life easier. It's a whole different feeling. And especially he learns to appreciate it. Okay. To me, that's the best way to avoid having sex with him sometimes. Give him a meal here. Because you know what they say, the way to get to a man's heart is through his belly. To me, the way to get to a man's wallet is through his belly. Shoot, let me get some money. Get some money, sir. Okay. So yeah, I don't listen to the ones who say, again, that's their choice. But when a woman is like, nah, I'm not cooking for my man, it's like, well, because he's not doing nothing for you. Why would you? Why am I going to cook for a man who's not making my life easier? I just personally, and I think it's because I, I got my own place. My parents, got me my own place, my own apartment when I was 17. So even when I was still in high school, I was the only one in high school at the time that had my own place. They got me a place, and of course they expected me to get a job, but I had other ways of getting money. especially as a young girl. I was like, shoot, I'm in my ultimate prime right now. There's no way I can't get a man to pay my bills, and which I did. It was easier that way. But being 17 and have my own place, I learned how to cook for myself. Because of course, when I was learning how to try to save and manage money, it was like, okay, it just wasn't something, made for me to, order food. And back in those days, they didn't have Uber Eats or anything like that, or they didn't have any of those things. And I was like extremely skinny those times because I was cooking my food. I was. But you see, when you see a woman who's overweight, it's because she's ordering out a lot. She's eating out a lot. That's usually why. When you see a woman who's unhealthy like that, yeah, she's not cooking her food. You can just tell she's not cooking her food. It shows in her appearance, it shows in her body, it shows in her face. It shows. Okay? It shows. That's all I'm saying. You say you know how to cook for yourself, your provider, husband, and our family. That's it. Period. Okay? That's it. So I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that. My provider husband, like I said, he gonna enjoy every single meal. You'd be like, wow, oh my God. And again, that's when I feel like it. It's like a luxury, right? As long as I'm being provided for, that's all that really matters. That's the only job a man really has. Provide, make my life easier. If he's not doing that, then why am I giving him my time? Why am I giving him my body? Why am I giving him any of those things? Why am I even going to have a child with a man for free? That doesn't even make no sense. Everything that needs to be based off of financial benefits to the woman. That's what hypergamy is, beneficial to the woman. Beneficial to the feminine energy, because there's some men who are hypergamous. But again, we're not gonna talk about them. We're talking about the women who understand what it means to marry up or to date up. Women who understand that purpose, they're gonna have such an easy life, such a graceful life. That's what they're gonna have. Life is gonna be easy for them. It's gonna be beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing knowing you're going to be taken care of regardless. And when we start taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally, you see exactly the type of energy you attract, because it starts with us first. I get my mind right, I'm going to attract the type of man that will make my life easier. I don't have to go out of my way. I don't have to search for him. I don't have to do none of those things. I don't have to do none of those things. Personally, I believe, that is part of, being feminine is understanding how to do domestic things like cooking. Cleaning, that's not necessarily something of course, we will clean our own space, yes. But when you're living with a man, oh, absolutely, this man needs to hire help. Absolutely. Clean after a man, that is disgusting. Oh my God. Oh, they're creatures. I'm sorry, they're creatures. They just no. That's why I don't even believe in sharing a room with them or a bathroom. It's like, no. Like, what? These men, the way they walk around with their shoes on in the house and the way they leave the toilet seat. Oh, no. I don't think so. If you living with a man, absolutely, you're not clean. You should not clean up after a whole man. I don't think so. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. This man definitely needs to hire somebody else to come clean up, because it ain't going to be me. Nope. That's one thing. Some women are like, oh, I like clean. Nah, well, that's on you. That's on you. Me personally, I just feel like if the man has the money to hire help, that's what he needs to do. Okay, the hire a maid, that's what he needs to do. I'm definitely not for the whole, woman needing to clean up after a man, and this just because she's a housewife or homemaker, and it's like yeah, that's just not my calling. Okay, for some women, yeah, that's just not my calling. I think it's just very. I just feel it's nasty. That's it. I just feel it's nasty. I'd rather have my own place. Forget even the own room, my own place. Okay. Exactly. Thank you, baby queen. Right? Clean up after a whole man. That no, I'm not your mother, sir. I am not your. If that's the case, why didn't you clean up after I'm putting a diaper on you? And right, who wants to do that? I'm putting a whole diaper on. No, sir. Like you need to find a way to get. That's why I like my own space. That's it. That's it. Separate bedroom, separate bathroom. Hell, if I could have a separate house, if I could have a separate house, can you send your cleaner to come clean my house? Because, yeah, you know, like, shoot. I much rather have that because then I have more time for myself. Imagine a woman having to cook, clean, go to work, do all those other things, all the other domestic chores, laundry. Then she got to drive the children to school, then do all of, yeah, that's a lot of work. You're going to see exactly how those type of mothers look. They don't look like the ones who are being provided for. You can tell when she's doing a lot of work. The way she's dressed, she got, her hair is in a bun all or a ponytail all the time. She's always looking messy, stains on her and is walking around like that. And it's like, yeah, you could tell. And that's just not for me. That is not for me. But having my own space, that is to me, that's blissful. And then him paying for someone to come clean it, even better. Okay. I don't mind someone to come over and clean up. I can direct them. Hey, yeah, this place. I like this. Can you make sure the oven is this way? And oh, can you put this to the side? And da-da. Yeah, but my food, I'm gonna be more conscious about my food because I know what's going in me. I personally like cooking my own food personally because I know how to cook. And on top of that, I know how much oil I'm going to use or how much salt I'm going to use or, what season I'm going to use. Like, I like to do all of that. I like to pay attention to what's going into my body. Okay. Because my body's my temple and it's going to be with me for a very long time. And that's how I keep my body, my shape nice and tight, still looking youthful, still looking good. Okay. Okay. Anyways. So yeah, I just so women who don't know their value, who don't know their worth, yeah, they're gonna be doing something, they're gonna be going against nature. But women who understand their value, understand their worth, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They understand what I'm saying. They're not gonna. They're gonna understand. They're like, yeah, this makes sense because that's the type of life I see for myself, and that's the point. Do you see your life going in a good direction? And if you do, then you're on the right track. If you feel good where you are right now, then you're on the right track. That's it. Not worrying about what happened in the past, not trying to focus what's going to happen in the future. Focus right now. How do you feel right now? Expect something good to happen to you every single day. Just expect it. Be like, you know what? I expect something good to happen to me and for me. That's how women should think. That's how women should think. So, yeah, keep that in mind, especially when it comes to dating. Don't date for love, you date for security. Could your life be easier with this person? If your answer is yes, then yeah, that's the right track. If your answer is, well, I see potential, I'm sorry, potential can't pay the bills. Okay? Potential is just it's half it's like almost like half-ass because it's not. No, it's like somebody saying I could potentially pay your bills. Like what? What do you mean potentially? No, 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 no. I ain't got time to wait on potential. It's either you can do it or you can't. That's it. That's the only thing I hear. Yes or no. Not potential. Yes or no. This is very, very simple. If a man is the right target, his actions will prove it to you. If he's not the right target, his actions will prove it to you. Plain and simple. Okay. Anyways, well, uh, that's enough entertainment for me today. Y'all know what it is. Like, if you like it, if you don't, oh well, doesn't really matter. Um, you said learn about the type of man you want and see if you're a match. If not, work on yourself to attract what you want. You want a wealthy man? Learn about hypergamy, femininity, domestics, and self care. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And not working on ourselves is number one, to be honest. But woman thinking that she got to go through all this years of school, all these years of work, all of that, not just that's just putting her back. That's pushing her back and it's aging her before her time. That's why you see these girls who look like in their 30s and they're still in their 20s. And it's like, what happened? Because they decided to give up on life and decided to believe that they need to work in order to sustain a life and they listen to their parents. And of course, some students, not students, some girls were so obedient to listening to their parents, but they're suffering for it now. Thank God I was a black sheep in my family. I didn't listen. I was like, nope, I ain't doing that. Nope, nope, no, I didn't like. I was a complete opposite of my parents. Complete opposite. You know, complete opposite of my mother. I'm like, nah, I don't date for love. I don't care how long I know a man. If he's not giving me money, he don't like me. Plain and simple. That's the only language I understand. If this man is giving me his money, if he's not giving me his money, he don't like me. Him texting me or messaging me or sending me funny memes and stuff, that don't mean nothing to me. You know, that's something that they do when a child's in high school or something. That's what they want to. That to me is not like that is not going to get my attention. Your man wants my attention. He knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly. Men are not stupid. They're not dumb. I'm telling you, they are they're smarter than what women like to believe. Okay, men are very smart. They know exactly what they're doing. They know everything they do is strategic. They're rational creatures. They know everything that they're doing. If a man has married a woman based off security, it's because she works, she makes more money than him, and he knows he can come off of her until he gets to where he really wants to be. Because at the end of the day, a man is supposed to marry a woman for love, and we marry him for security. Okay, that's the only way it's gonna work. That's it. Treat yourself like the prize. You can't fail. You cannot fail. Okay, ever. I'm telling you right now, you can't ever fail when you put yourself first. When you think, oh my God, this matters to me. This matters to me. Be with a man who's going to be a provider, who's going to be in his masculine energy. This matters to me. Don't listen to women who make you believe there's not enough men that go around in the world. There's just, shoot, your man now, he probably is still married to his builder wife. You don't know. Because my husband, he's still married. Okay. My husband's still married, y'all. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? For those who know who who he is, y'all know who I'm talking about. So in the meantime, I'm just doing me. Okay. But yeah, just that's it. You treat yourself like the prize, you can never go wrong. Your standards is always going to be high, and you understand what hypergamy is because that makes sense for you. Woman who came across struggle and they know like that didn't work, they're thinking about hypergamy now. Trust me when I say this. They're thinking about it right now. They're like, shoot, man, I knew I should have married, you know, Mr. Mr. So and so down the street. I should have married, this man had a whole house. He had 3 cars by himself. Man, I could have, imagine like, those ones, but it's okay. Don't beat yourself over the ones that was supposed to. Everything happens for a reason. God knows what's meant for you. Some women need to go through struggle in order for her to understand her worth. Some women have to experience those type of things. Some women have to experience that. But, for those who've been there and done it, they're like, nope, didn't work for me. Yeah. Now you know. Now you know. Okay. Anyways, ladies, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh my God, I appreciate y'all. We are less than a week away of 2022. Yay! Hercules, Hercules! We made it. I'm telling you, I'm excited. Oh my God. I'm excited every day, to be honest. Every day I wake up, I'm just happy about life. I'm like, yes, I'm alive. I'm well. I'm in perfect health. Oh my God, this is amazing. Like, oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful feeling. Listen to more songs that make you feel good too. Listen to that. You just, oh my God. Anyways, until next time, ladies, okay? Ladies, my hypergamous ladies, my feminine ladies. Y'all know what time it is, okay? Until next time, ladies. Be happy. Be happy, okay? As a woman, oh my God, that's the biggest gift of all. That's the biggest power. It's just, when you understand your worth, it's amazing. So be happy. Don't complain. There's nothing to complain about. You're alive. You're well. There's nothing to laugh, be merry, dance, sing, do karaoke, carry your own key. Be happy. Be in receiving mode. Somebody wants to give to you, receive it. Say thank you. Man want to make your life easy. He want to give you money. You say thank you. Take it. Don't feel no ways about it. Don't feel any ways about a man wanting to give you money. Don't feel no ways about it. Take it. And as always, ladies, stay divine.